Good morning, guys. So I got breakfast on cooking, and I give the chickens their breakfast and collect breakfast for the next week. You know where these came from. So it's been cool, so I've been able to just kind of, whenever I'm out here, when I don't have the basket, which is rarely, I just scoot them to one corner because that's the corner that no eggs roll in from, because that side of the nesting box is actually blocked off. They have 3 spots, and they have 3 spots available out of the 4 that I built. So I tend to just scoot them all down to this end when I don't have the basket or whatever, and that just keeps them from getting broken as new eggs roll in. They do get dusty though when I do that, so I really shouldn't do that. So I've noticed the last few mornings, well, every other day, we've got a lot of water coming down the driveway, and that's from the drip up here in the cottage garden. So it's just time to adjust the timer. It doesn't need to come on so much now and for so long because we've got cooler weather. All right, Emily, so it's cooler weather. What are we doing today?
Fall decorating!
Well, that's what she's doing today. I am going to be putting the back roof on the cottage. At least as much as I can do in one day. But yesterday I went and got the wood, got plywood, and we've got 8-foot 2x4s and 10-foot 2x4s. I didn't get the corrugated plastic yet. I had measured for everything, but then I thought I really don't know exactly how much area is going to be covered by the thatch. I have to kind of work methodically from the area of most importance to the area of least importance, so that if I run out of thatch, I just add more plastic. Or if I have more thatch than I thought, then I can buy less plastic, which is good because it's not cheap. I also noticed yesterday when I was online just pricing out the plastic that there's different shades, there's different colors really. My first thought was going to be gray. It's like a tinted plastic, and that would allow for the sunlight to come through, but not full strength. And so I do want light in there, because I think if I cover the entire thing with like corrugated metal, as some of you suggested, I think it might be really dark in there. I also wanted to address some concerns that you guys had when I mentioned that we have a mountain lion around here. First of all, you guys were concerned about the chickens' safety, which I will tell you, they are 100% fortified. Less so in the run, but they're only in the run during the daytime, and that's typically not when a mountain lion's going to be around. But he'd have to do a lot of digging to get in here, and I'm not sure that mountain lions dig. I don't know. But nevertheless, the hen house in and of itself, there's hardware cloth all the way underneath it, buried underneath, and it comes up the sides inside. So unless they come along with wire cutters, those mountain lions aren't getting in there. As far as Daisy is concerned, we have been speaking to, the breeder, first of all, and she has mountain lions where she is, and they don't really bother them. Now they have bulls. The bulls don't have horns, though. And then we were talking with some other homesteaders, and they have livestock guardian animals, which we were planning. So we're just speeding up that process. We are talking with a breeder of Maremas that's fairly local. Now, they come as puppies, and you kind of have to train them, so that will be a while. So the shelter that we're building for Daisy is now going to have more protection. We will have a spot where we'll be able to lock her in at night so that she's safe during the night. And we're also going to put motion lights up around it, because we heard as soon as a motion light comes on, those big cats get scared and they run. So yes, of course, our number one concern is the safety of our animals. And, we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure they're safe. So my job is to collect the eggs, and Emily's job is to clean the eggs.
Yeah. So I'm just giving them a quick wipe down to get the dirt and
dust all off of them.
And wood shavings that get stuck.
Yeah. And then the ones that are kind of more icky, I give those a wash and they go in the fridge because now I've washed off their coating.
They have a natural bloom that protects them when they come out so they can stay shelf stable for quite a while, a couple months really.
And then the ones that have a little peck in them get washed, and those are for Boomy.
So I generally put vinegar in the water, but I forgot. That will help them peel better. But I've also found another way that makes it pretty easy to get the shells off. There will be some stubborn ones always, but you want to smack it as hard as you can on both ends. And then start to peel from one end and just like unzip it like a jacket. And then just take the jacket off. Give it a rinse. Doing that shoves air up through the bottom to the top or top to the bottom and loosens it from the actual egg on the inside. Pretty good for no vinegar. All right, I'm gonna make egg salad. So I'm starting with some mayo. We use the avocado oil mayo because we try to limit our seed oils. I like it pretty mayonnaise-y. And then you can use Dijon or honey mustard. And then some sweet pickle relish. And we just get the organic, and then the kind that's kind of ugly. It doesn't look as good as, Vlasic or whatever that brand is. It's not as green because they don't put food coloring in it. Salt, pepper. Really quick breakfast or lunch. I'm gonna eat this and head out and get the roof started. All right, I've gotten the plywood on. So right over there, that triangle's done. And then a foot down across the top, except for one more section over there. So it's actually getting kind of warm out here. The sun's beating down on this side of the cottage. So I've got the wood up. As you can see, this is where the thatch is gonna be. This triangle and across the top, and then the corrugated plastic will be down the middle. So I'm putting on this membrane here that waterproofs everything, and then the thatch will go on over that. But I'll do that this evening when this part is in the shade. I think right now I'm gonna go get the boxes down to the fall decorations so Emilie can start decorating. got to show you this. This was Noah's second Halloween costume. I even made him a honey pot to go with it to collect his goodies. It's the next day, and I think I got quite a bit done yesterday. So heading back here around the back side. I got the thatch a little more than halfway up. I have it heat gunned, so it's completely done. I put the corner pieces on. So right now, Noah and I are gonna go over to Lowe's and get the plastic panels that go on this section here. However, I started thinking I probably should paint the tops, at least the tops of these 2x4s. Number one, to protect them. And number two, I'm thinking even though it's a tinted plastic, you'll still be able to see that wood under there. And if I paint them a darker color, it might just disappear a little bit more. So that's the plan. By the way, we got 2 more big loads of dirt yesterday out of the blue. Each load is 1 step closer to Daisy. So I've been thinking, actually, oh, and still nothing new on the trail cam, by the way. I've been thinking about Daisy's barn, and originally it was going to be facing us. So the back would be back there, and then the walls would come up this way. And it's really going to be a lean-to style roof, so just one panel that's at an angle facing away, because it's mainly for shade. And then if it ends up being our milking area, it'd be nice to have that for rain as well. But we're kind of limited because we've got this cut off here, so we would need some room in front of it. So it would be kind of relegated to this lighter colored dirt, which isn't that big really. And so what I thought was, And this is why I don't make decisions like quickly. I like to live with my thoughts for a while and see what happens. But I'm thinking instead of facing toward us like this, we flip it 90 degrees. And this will still be flattened out here level with this, but have it now facing us this way. That way it gives us a much larger area in front of it where I could fence it in. So if I need to corral her for whatever reason, where she can't get all the way out here, I can do that in kind of like a little yard in front of the barn. Also, as a shade structure, the original direction I had it facing would be facing south. And so the sun would always be right in there. There might be a little shade at the very back corner. Whereas facing this way, this is facing east. So it'll get morning sun, but then after around 11 o'clock, it'll be in the shade for the rest of the day. So as of right now, that is the current plan. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of a quandary. I was originally going to go with the tinted, but they have a cream color. So the cream color, I wouldn't have to paint the 2x4s and it would match the roof somewhat. What do I do? And I can't even ask your opinion because I'm here at the store and this is going to be bought way before you see this. So I guess you'll get a surprise when we get home. All right, well, we made the decision. I called Emily and tried to do FaceTime with her, but the internet wasn't having it. So I made my own decision and went with the cream. I'm not sure it's going to let as much light in as I had hoped, but I think it will look better. I hope I made the right decision. All right, we're back home and it's quite a bit lighter than the roof, but I still feel that there's less of a contrast between these two colors than like black, basically. What do you think? Did I make the right decision? So what I need to do is put some horizontal 2x4s across to be able to screw the panels into. So I'll get my clothes changed and get started on that. Okay, I've got all the cross pieces in. And to make it easy on myself, rather than cutting each individual piece perfectly and then, you know, screwing it in from the sides or at an angle, I just put one long 2x4 across and then cut pieces to fit in between and just screwed them into that on top. I think that made it go much faster. So next, I guess I start putting on the panels. So right now I'm just trying to think through how I'm going to put these panels on because I can't crawl on top of them. So I think I'm going to do it the same way I did the patio cover and just do the first panel and crawl up like this ladder and lean over and hook that one all in, then move the ladder to the next section and do that one. But then I've got to think ahead, once all the panels are on, how I'm going to get the thatch around it. So this would be easy. I'll just put a ladder here and lean over and finish that thatch. At the top, I can't crawl up. I can't put the ladder or it might bend or break it. So I'm thinking I'll probably have to put ladders up this side and either sit on the peak of the roof and, you know, lean over, or have the ladder and I'm on the ladder and I'm leaning over. But that's honestly the only way that I see this working. So we'll go forward with that thought in mind. Okay, so the first panel is on. I think I'm gonna be glad I went with the beige. Of course, this edge will be cleaned up a little bit. But, so I'm gonna just work across with the panels and then worry about the thatch on the side and the top. All right, it's starting to get really dark in here. So I'm thinking that maybe I take this last strip off and I take one of these back and exchange it for, or two of these back and exchange it for a couple of the tinted ones, and just put a couple of sections, even if it's just a halfway up or even a window, like a skylight, to let some light in here. Because these windows are not going to be enough, I don't think. So I'm going to quit work for now because I don't feel like going back to the store today, and this video is probably already long enough. So on the next video, we'll be finishing that roof. See you next time.